Being prepared. Absolutely, Jacqueline. Our team coverage continues. Great to see you just after 2 o'clock Eastern, and good morning in BC. And a cold morning across the prairies. Sub-zero, Edmonton and Calgary. We've got 22 degrees, Toronto through Montreal. Natalie telling you the showers have started in the Toronto region. Winter storm watches, rain going to big snow tonight, and some heavy rain coming in for parts of the north coast of BC. Not the only active area, very dynamic. The Great Lakes, the BC coast. We'll see the chance of a shower for Vancouver this evening. Not a bad forecast inland, but rainfall warnings for the central and north coast regions. And quiet for now. Beautiful day, Atlantic Canada, as our stormy weather coverage continues.
But inland, maybe not quite as bad. I know my brother asked me, what's going on for Muskoka? Well, you know, 40, 50K, definitely possible.
Yeah, people that are boating this weekend, Jacqueline, people that are camping this weekend. I mean, it's only the first weekend of October. Thanksgiving next weekend. Winds are an issue with this low, and heavy rain, as Jacqueline was mentioning. Heaviest rain, northern Ontario. The risk of storms. Jacqueline mentioned the squall line. We had a couple of lightning strikes around Sault Ste. Marie earlier today. A 15 to 30 millimeter rainfall for southern Ontario, but around Muskoka, like Jacqueline was talking about, and up through parts of the north, 30 to 50, 50 to 80 north of Lake Superior. And then as we shift gears, and we welcome you, it's 12:15. What a cold lunchtime in Calgary right now. You're running in between buildings because it's 4 degrees only, sub-zero this morning. 16 in Vancouver. Glorious day. A good morning to you in Tofino, the envy of the country. 16 in Halifax, also sunshine. Some warnings in the north, rainfall, winter storm watches. Pickle Lake, rain changing to snow. BC, it's all rain. We have had some snow in high elevations of the Rockies. A bit more of that, certainly likely. We warm up tomorrow in Alberta. That's good news. It's rainy and it is windy on the west coast of our country. We'll have more as storm coverage continues. We'll take you into the weekend with your locals next. Mark, nice and cozy in here, nice and dry too. The rain will intensify throughout the afternoon. Meanwhile, the wonderful conditions continue for parts of our east and west coast. Rainfall warnings, winter storm watches, parts of northern Ontario, 50 plus millimeters of rain around the east side of Lake Superior. And we'll see 50 to 100 millimeters of rain for the north coast of BC. Beautiful day across the south, a little bit of increasing cloud with the chance of a shower this evening. Rainfall warnings north and central coast inland sections. And as we jump to the broader picture here, it has been a bitterly cold start to the day. Today, Friday, in the prairies, down to -9 at Edmonton International this morning. Well, you'll be back up to seasonal tomorrow. A decent weekend for southern BC, a windy weekend, as Mark was talking about, with colder air digging in, this low heading north. It is a classic fall storm. It'll spawn a new low with showers for you in the Maritimes come Sunday. Find out more with your local forecast next.
Well, it's Suzanne Leonard and Jacqueline Woodall in the studio, in the newsroom, getting down to the nitty-gritty of the storm. You might be going outside soon, though, Suzanne.
Thanks, Jacqueline. I'm ready for that.
You are ready.
It's raining. I can see that outside. The winds are picking up, so if you're joining us from the GTA, it has begun.
It has begun, no question. We have seen some wind gusts up toward the north, over 80 kilometers per hour. We've also seen snow now mixing down to Kenora. Ooh.
Yeah.
Right? And then, of course, the heavy rain. What a story.
It's been a big story. And, you know, the record for Toronto today would be 18 millimeters. And we may get there, but the winds are continuing to build in with this prefrontal band of rain.
That's right. And it's kind of an interesting day, Suzanne, because I went for a run this morning. I know you were doing some gardening, some sodding. Southeasterly wind, but a beautiful start to the day. But the cloud building in, and now if you live in Brampton, you know that the rain is coming down like in buckets.
It felt very much like summer this morning, but yeah, it's bucketing down. 30 millimeters of rain in the forecast for southern Ontario. Really a moisture-laden system, Jacqueline, but an interesting track.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're really going to see this start to back up. Would I say back up in time? Instead of going east and getting out of our way, it's going to be moving west, and now actually bringing more precip to Manitoba again.
Yeah, and that would be in the form of a snow mix. For some areas. Woo, cold temperatures in the prairies if you're joining us from Western Canada, but this is certainly the big story, and it's typical at this time of year, isn't it?
It is, yeah, that transitional time of year where you have everything from those strong winds, heavy rain, thunderstorm potential, non-severe likely today through southern Ontario, and then as you mentioned, Suzanne, the snow.
Snowfall in the north.
That's right.
Storm watches, not for Elliott Lake, for Pickle Lake. So that's well to the north, but a soggy regime, and then expect a blustery and noticeably cooler weekend. And does it feel noticeably cooler yet where you are, Chrissy? It'll be slow.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's take a look at our storm. I mean, look at this. This is impressive through Ontario, but we're not the only ones dealing with a low. Tell us about the one out west.
Yeah, it's a massive plume of moisture. And again, it's a typical autumn storm. 50 to 100 millimeters of rain. Not for Tofino this time around. Temperature about 16 degrees right now. Lovely sunny day.
And a beautiful day for our Atlantic Canada folks. I mean, it's going to be a nice day. Only about 9 degrees, I think, in St. John's, Newfoundland, but clear.
Sunshine.
High pressure dominating for now, but this low is actually spinning off a secondary low, which will then bring some rain to the east.
Are you looking for the sun here in the prairies? Do you know that it was -9 in Edmonton this morning?
Oh.
Local temperatures, more with your forecast next, and we'll be back with more stories.
Hopefully, Suzanne, you're making out a little bit better.
Well, it's interesting, Chrissy. Just when you said the winds are picking up, the winds have started to pick up here, so the jacket's going up, getting a little blustery. The winds are out of the south. My Pocket Weather Network app says 21 degrees right now, feeling like 26. So it's not cold out here. It will be getting much colder. The winds are going to get much stronger and the rain steadier as well. And sitting by the 403 here outside our Oakville studios, the traffic's picking up. It's obviously going to be a slow go in many areas. Could be worse. Snow is on the way to northern Ontario. Very cold start in the prairie provinces. Jacqueline, the focus, of course, is this big fall storm affecting so much of Canada's population, but it's going to be a slow mover and a real temperature contrast on either side already and through the weekend.
That's right, and I think my focus is I'm going to have to buy both those ladies dinner, I think, coming up for going out and taking the brunt of the storm while I'm inside cozy here. As she mentioned, Suzanne, so
For more on the wind story, over to you, Suzanne.
Oh, the winds, the slow commute in Canada's biggest city, Chrissy. It's not even 3 o'clock yet, and the roads are clogged. And the wind so far today, fall special weather statement, winding down. The rain is actually easing up a bit there, but I got to say, around Oakville right now, going from winds to rainfall, standing in a bit of a puddle. It's about 1 centimeter deep so far. It's enough to splash around, but it's really only just begun. Thankfully, it's going to be only rain, Jacqueline. Temperatures are a big part of the story. Right now, still close to 20. It's still on the humid side, but it's going to change dramatically for the weekend.
yes, only rain for us. But
Good afternoon to you. Watching the national forecast, our team coverage here. It's noon in BC. It's 3 o'clock in Ontario. The cloud ceilings are fairly high, but there's no sun to be found here. It's on our east and west coast today. My Weather Network app says it's 19 degrees, feeling like 24. Just walked outside with our switcher editor, Paula, who said, oh, it's mild out here. And it is. Keep this dry, though, because the rain has started. 15 to 30 millimeters on the way for southern Ontario. Tell you what it's good for. The sod I laid down this morning and any new trees, shrubs, plants that you have put in. Still a really good planting time of year. However, the winds are getting quite strong. We've had peak gusts already around 80 kilometers an hour up around Killarney. And Jacqueline, this is a massive storm system. If we've got the cloud tops handy, it really shows a well-defined plume of moisture on our west coast, some quiet weather elsewhere, and then this massive low that stretches from Hudson Bay all the way down towards the Gulf of Mexico with very different weather along it, I might add.
oh, it's so true. Yeah, it is a massive system. And, you know, a lot of people, Suzanne, are saying, hey, wait a minute, what storm? Well, if you live in parts of cottage country, maybe you haven't seen anything yet, my brother included, who's being a typical brother with his sister saying, hello, what storm? It's coming, Jason, it's coming.